Closure is simply a function with no name. You can assign it to a variable and pass it around like any other value. Functions are actually special cases of closures. A function is a closure with a name. To use a closure, first you have to assign it to a variable or a constant. We define closures with curly braces. With your closure defined, you can use it just as function. Closures are named so because they have ability to close over values within the closure's own scope. This simply means that a closure can access, store, and manipulate the values from surrounding context. Variables and constants within the body of a closure are said to have been captured by the closure. Let's have a look at simple increment closure that can access and update counter value defined outside its own scope. Any changes are visible both inside and outside the closure. After the execution is done, scope is not destroyed and counter value is preserved. Let's say you call the closure 5 times. After these 5 calls, counter will equal 5. The fact that closures can be used to capture values from the enclosed scope can be extremely useful. For example, you could write the following function. The closure returned from this function will increment its internal counter each time it's called. Each time you call this function, you get a different counter. Compared to functions, closures are designed to be lightweight. Closures allow you to write simple and quick blocks that can be passed around just like functions, but without the overhead of naming them. There are many ways to shorten their syntax. First, if the closure consists of a single return statement, you can leave out the return keyword, like this. Next, you can use Swift type inference to short the syntax even more by removing the type information. And finally, you can even omit parameter list if you want. Swift lets you refer to each parameter by number starting at 0. Numbered parameter like this should really only be used when the closure is short and simple. There's one more way you can simplify the syntax, but it can only be done when the closure is the final parameter passed to a function. In this case, you can move the closure outside of the function call. Let's have a look at some closure use cases. Closures can be useful when you start looking deeper at collections. By specifying a custom closure, you can change the details of how an array is sorted, specifying a trailing closure like so. Collections implement some very handy features often associated with functional programming. Here is an example of array filter in Swift. Couple more examples using map and reduce. We are using closures to run async code. Also receiving results from network call with the completion handler. Thanks for watching, have a great day.